Hello. We are coming at you in South Carolina on two different channels. I know it's going to be fun and exciting. And if you're listening to this on podcast, that would be three. But let's talk about why we're doing this.
I would say live at 5, but it's actually 2 in California.
Yes. So we know that some of you are watching in South Carolina and also in California. And the reason is we're doing this is because what we're going to share with you today isn't like state specific. It's more generational specific and kind of what those of us that are Gen X are kind of experiencing. So we want to kind of break it down. What we're going to talk to you about today is we have some decisions to make here in this time of our life. And it feels like every time we are talking to friends, family, or clients, kind of the same conversations keep coming up over and over again. So we want to kind of chunk it down into like 3 different paths, and you might see yourself on one or both, or maybe all of them, but we've experienced 2 of the 3 we're going to bring to you. So let's kind of talk about what we've got to walk through today.
Yeah, because what most people don't, they think they have a real estate problem, but in reality, it's a decision-making problem.
Before, if you are watching this live or on replay and you have a question about anything that comes up, give us a 3 X's because we're Generation X. Hello. Give us 3 X's in the chat, and that way we can find your question easy live or again on replay and in the comments. So if you have a question that we do not address while we're here, make sure you put that in the chat, and then we will get to it when we're done. So sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
You were saying
we're good.
We have a decision to make.
Yeah, like it's a decision problem, not a real estate problem.
Right. And obviously both of those things can happen regardless of where you are. And trick or treat, over 60,000, actually closer to 66,000 people moved to South Carolina in the last
from other states.
Yeah, from other states in the last year to year and a half. So we just thought we were leading the way.
Who knew we'd be blazing a trail when we made the decision to do it?
So yeah.
And for a lot of people, it's trying to get their head around what makes sense for them at this point in their life.
For real, we did. We had to. I mean, how many times I was like, what are we doing, Dan? Crying on the way as we're driving into town. But I mean, praise the Lord, it's worked out. Anyway, back to the paths.
Yes.
So the first path that we're going to share with you is maybe your path is to consolidate. So what we mean by that is 2 going to 1. So mom and dad or the young adult child is on their own, and then you have your house. And maybe it's time for you to ditch those 2 and get 1 that can accommodate everybody.
Right. Or your aged parents have a house that's paid off free and clear.
Right.
And you guys have your house, and you say, hey, makes more sense for us to be together and consolidate the bills. We have 1 set of bills instead of 2 or 3 sets of bills. We have 1 mortgage,
HOAs,
and the bonus is you all get to spend more time together, which is a gift.
Well, and if we think about the math on that is just going to be a lot of times, if it doesn't, what's the term you like to use, babe? If it doesn't pencil if it doesn't pencil out, we ain't doing it.
Yeah. Or, let's say you have kids that you want them to stay with you so that they can save up money to put a down payment on something later.
Okay.
That's another benefit of getting everyone in one space.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but yes, raise your hand if you were from a generation that was like, it wasn't even a conversation. We just were leaving at 18.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, you know what, you should stay and save some money and maybe we'll help you get a house.
It was on your 18th birthday. You got a set of luggage. It's like,
bye-bye.
Get out.
I mean, but we didn't even think about it. It was just kind of, there was
assumed.
Yeah, there you go. That's the word. And it wasn't like well, obviously times were different then. You could still buy a house based on what we all earned back then. But nowadays it's a different ball game as far as trying to get the youngins up and out and on their own. And then even for the people that are on fixed incomes, whether, you know, the parents, one or two, like both of our moms are widows. And so, you know, the finances are a little different when you've got one fixed income versus two fixed incomes.
Right.
So it just maths out a lot more.
Well, and the nice thing about consolidating is you're not having to leave a place that you're already used to. So, you know, we love to have people move to South Carolina, but some people just don't want to. They're like, I like where I live.
Right.
And they don't want to leave their community, or maybe they have a really good job that isn't being offered somewhere else, or their family's close by, or, you know, for some people it's restaurants, you know, it's like my favorite restaurant is in my home state. I can't leave.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, were you finished with that statement? I'm sorry, I was going to cut you off.
I was going to say, the only other thing about consolidating is, let's say you've got an aged parent where you're like thinking, like when Angel said, one of the spouses has passed, you know, some people look into assisted living for the remaining parent, and it's like, that ain't cheap.
Yeah. It's costly. I volunteer at one here locally, and $7,000-8,000 a month. And if the parents don't have that sorted, anyway, I'm getting ahead of ourselves. That would be path one, as we talked about. If you are new here, we are Dan and Angel. We are the GenX Realtors in Charleston. That is one channel that this video is going out to. If you are an old schooler like myself, this is also going out on the Living in Bakersfield channel. That is,
and I am a guest.
And he is a guest on that channel. But we would love to hear from you, no matter which channel you're watching this from, whether you're in California or in South Carolina or somewhere in between. Because this is like we said at the beginning, like we have the benefit of putting this in both states on each coast, but like if you're in the middle and you're walking through this, and you might be Gen X anyway, like it's for you too, whether you're watching in Idaho or Kansas or somewhere in between.
And just so you know, she is licensed in both California and South Carolina. So if you have needs in either of those states, she's your gal.
Yes. And then he and I are a team together. I still have a team in California, all throughout the state, centered in Bakersfield, but then all throughout the state. I have colleagues, family, and friends that we can make sure you're taken care of there.
We know lots of people in many places. So if you want to move to Tennessee
or
Idaho,
we're just messing. Anyway, so to bring it back, we are going to be walking through these three paths. And, you know, we want to make sure that we're addressing what we are all going through. Now, path number two, as we talked about, you might be in more than one of these. Path number two might be to just relocate. And we're here to say you can do that, because that's exactly what we were on the fence about for a while. And then we decided, nope, we got to go. And I have a stat to show you guys. So to what I brought up earlier about the leaving states and moving to states. So if you're listening to this on podcast, I apologize. If you're watching this, it's a map of the United States, and it shows the net domestic migration from and to certain states based on their color. And the from states are in brown, kind of a ugly brown, which is sad. And the to states, where everybody is moving to, are in deep, dark, beautiful purple. And South Carolina, #1 state moved to in 2025, the deepest and darkest purple, followed by Idaho being the 2. So just to show you that, like, relocation is not hard, and it comes with a lot of factors, but you can also, you know, consider that you're not going to be the only one doing it. And you're not doing it alone. And you might be doing it and realizing the benefits of lower taxes. Some of these other states that are brown on that map are New York, New Jersey, Illinois, California, Hawaii. So if you're thinking about moving from those states because of the high taxes, what are you looking at for the, you know, we're Gen X. We're like right in the middle. We don't want to be working this hard for the rest of our life, like for just keeping the lights on, like, for crying out loud.
How many times can they increase the electric bill in California?
Right. He's talking to California. Now you know why he wasn't on the channel a lot. Just kidding. Anyway, it makes sense. right? Like we want to have a life. We want to go and do. And here's the thing that I was telling him the other day. I said, you know, when we were like younger and we used to do that like George Washington thing in the pool with our hair, none of us knew the rest of us were doing it. We just all did it.
Yeah, or the Mohawks.
Or
you would do your hands like
well,
this.
I didn't have, I had, the chicks did, the dudes did the Mohawks. But here's the thing. None of us knew we were going through it and doing the same thing, but we were all doing the same thing. It's the same thing now.
Yep.
And we're just having the ability, praise the Lord, for technology to be able to say like, hey, we're doing the Washington hair and the Mohawk hair. You can do it with us. And you're not alone. Yep. You're not alone. And we've done it. And we're here to tell you, like, we're living and breathing and eating and making friends and finding a church and doing activities just like we were in California.
Yeah. And we're not here to tell you that South Carolina is going to solve all your problems.
No.
Because we're not saying move here. We're saying make the right move. Like whatever that is for you.
Yes.
Wherever you are.
And like he said at the beginning, it's not a matter of like, you know, what did you say? Something about, sorry, I'm listening closely.
Yeah. No.
He said it's not a real estate problem. It's a decision problem. Yeah. So we're all kind of in this decision lane right now. We're all doing the Washington or the Mohawk again.
We can make a dance out of that.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So path number one, let's recap. Go ahead.
Consolidate.
Path number two
is to relocate. Get somewhere where it's cheaper or more advantageous. Or path number three, build it and they will come. Or actually they're building it and hope you come. Right.
Because we are experiencing this right now with two sets of clients that are building with the floor plans and the layouts for multi-generational living. Now they're not walking in going, we need a multi-generational home. They're walking in because it fits their needs for their family now.
Yeah, we want to have people come out and we have older parents and we don't want to have them climb stairs. So it's turning into a multi-gen just by default of what they're needing. And the cool thing is whether they're in California or whether they're in South Carolina, you can build to suit and get a new home and have it dialed in exactly how you need it.
Yes. Now, we are going to take a break from all of this fun information. It's something that we do every video, whether you're watching this on the Living in Bakersfield channel or the South Carolina channel. We do a GenX fun fact because we love to take it back in the day. So he tries to stump me on something from back in the day. And every once in a while, he does something very off the wall and I don't get it. But usually I'm pretty Gen X.
Getting better.
I'm pretty Gen X. I'm pretty solid 1970. I'm right in the middle.
She knows what's up.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go. Gen X fun fact. And it could be movies, music, quotes. I mean, toys that we played with. Okay. Let's go, Dean.
Okay. 1969.
I was not born.
Well, it's okay.
Okay.
You know what this is. And it's not the moon landing.
Moving on.
But the toy manufacturers, they said, hey, we can make cool stuff with plastic instead of metal.
Okay.
So this big thing became making stuff out of plastic. So I want you to think of some sort of a tricycle from that was invented in 1969.
I had to ride my uncle's because I didn't have a bigger brother. Big wheel.
You got it.
Yes.
Those things were awesome. And they designed them to not have good traction. So when you would pedal, well, that's what I think. Because the pedal would turn the wheel and you'd kind of be sitting there for a minute before it would go.
Yes.
But then
you would spin out.
Well, it got even better. 1975. And put in the comments if you know what this one was.
Yes.
There was the green machine. Now, what made the green machine an improvement over the big wheel was you had levers instead of handlebars.
I think I had a green machine that I borrowed.
And you look it up.
All right.
The green machine.
Okay.
But you had two levers instead of a steering wheel, and you could do It was before Tokyo Drift.
Drifting. Yeah. I was thinking that. I was like, we used to just like, shh, like skate, like see how far you could take, how much room you could take up on the street. Like, could you go corner to corner, or I guess, curb to curb? And like, if you started on the right, you could slide all the way and see if you would hit the one on the left. I would never let my son in one of those today when he was little. I would be like, no, you're going to crack your head.
Can I tell you this? They voted the big wheel as one of the safest toys for a child.
Because we're Gen X and we're awesome. And we had the best toys, except for, what were those lawn darts that like poke your eye out?
You'd die.
Here, have a sharp tool, throw it on the lawn, keep score, have a good time.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So that is our Gen X fun fact for the day. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
Big wheel.
It's fun.
And I got it. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So to continue on this path of these three different paths that our generation is kind of experiencing and having to kind of like is the third one is going to be build it, right? We talked about the multi-generational homes, or did we talk about that yet?
Well, yeah. So the beauty of it is you can have a primary suite on the first floor.
Yes.
So if you have an older parent, like we said, that didn't want to climb stairs, they got a place to stay. The other thing that people are doing is, I mean, we always talk about getting rid of this to get that, but some people are in a position because they're Gen X and they plan for things that they're able to do a second home. So let's say you have a scenario like this, like one of our clients that we can relay this information from, they have older parents that are in their home state. So they don't want to leave them high and dry. They're like, gosh, that would be horrible. And they don't want to move, but they've got kids and grandkids in another state.
This one.
So how do you solve it? Well, you get a second home that could eventually be your primary residence. And you set up camp in the summer or in the wintertime when it's cold and nasty where you're originally from. And you vacation in your second home, get to hang out with the kids, the grandkids. And then at any point in time, you can go back and see the parents in your home state.
Yes. And we are here to testify, not only because those are more than one of our clients right now, but we bought a multi-generational home without the thought of like, oh, we're buying a multi-generational home. We wanted, because we were leaving California and moving to South Carolina, we wanted to have more than just a room for people to stay in, because we presumed that they would be here for 4, 5, 6 days, which has been the case more than once. We have an adult child. And so sometimes she comes and stays for weeks at a time. She's living on her own, but it accommodates long-term guests. And we both have widowed parents. So like we didn't set out to, like I said, like we're going to buy a multi-generational home.
No.
We were doing exactly as Dan just described. We were buying for what we needed in the next state or the next part of our life. And we thought, well, we need to make sure. Lo and behold, it had this fancy name, and multi-generational living is now 1 in 5 homes that are being bought are multi-gen, and they're being bought by Generation X.
Yeah. Well, and we're in Charleston, so it is not a shabby place to visit. And people are like, well, now we want to come see you.
Right.
And in some cases we've got overlaps where it's like, well, when can I stay at your house?
Right.
Because so and so is going to be there.
Exactly.
We're not doing an Airbnb, but it sure feels like it sometimes.
Right. And it's something that, not only when we were addressing the single our single moms, our widowed moms, but like sometimes you have a parent that passes and you've got a situation where you're like, okay, they're going to need to go somewhere. And we know that there's, I don't want to say inheritance, but there might be an inheritance coming, or there might be a house that dad has to sell. And are we going to put dad into care, or are we just going to make sure we've got room to keep eyes on dad's caregivers, and be able to take and go with him or her to, appointments and, get them out and about.
Yeah. Cause some, you always hear these horror stories of the care, and I'm sure this doesn't happen all over the place, but there's instances where the caretakers like abuse the person that's in care. And it's like, if my parents want to stay home, I'd rather have them be with people that know them, love them, care about them. And like Angel said, have somebody on staff that you have eyes on that you can be like, okay,
Yeah.
they're getting the best care that they can, and they're in the comfort of a home environment.
And there's enough activity within the house, right? Like, so I'm home, Dan's home, kids are home, people are coming and going. So there's, they're not just holed up in their room. And if you've got a home that accommodates not only eyes on them, but like interactivity, sometimes they have their own little cottages in the backyard, but some of these newer construction homes, it's adjacent. It's like there's a door dividing you. So if somebody's, kind of melting down or something, whatever the scenario may be, you're going to hear it.
Yeah.
Anyway, as a reminder, if we haven't told you before, we are the GenX Realtors, the GenX team here in South Carolina. I am also licensed in California, the Bakersfield Realtor. We can help you in not only California and South Carolina, but if you are curious and you just have questions, all of our contact information is on both channels in the description below. So feel free to reach out.
Our number?
I'll give you our number for South Carolina. And then if you're watching on the Living in Bakersfield channel, my contact information is down below as well. And of course, we'd love to help you in either state, but sometimes just kind of fleshing out the ideas of like, how would that work? Well, we're getting ready to head into probate. Okay, my dad has a trust. Like, one of the things that I've realized here is different than California is California, our clients or my clients there tended to be more inclined to have a trust. And I think that might be the way California sets up the mortgages versus South Carolina. There's just a lot more probates here, not very many trusts as I have experienced since being a realtor. So different ways to handle it in both states, and we can help you in both. Being probate certified with him here in South Carolina, and then having sold and bought many in the state of California, we're happy to do it, right? So
right, and regardless of which of the three paths might work best for you, you do need to have those hard conversations, or those not uncomfortable, but ones that you don't generally have, where it's like, okay, mom and dad, what's the plan?
Right.
What do you want your future to look like?
Right.
Do you have a will? Do you have a trust? And just getting that out of the way so that if they pass, you can grieve without having to be like, well, where's all the paperwork and who's going to do what? And now me and my sister are fighting over who gets the lamp. And,
well, and we totally get it too, because most of our parents are boomers. And boomers generally keep their cards very, very close to their chest, and they don't share a lot of information. Put a comment, put a yes in the chat if that's your parent, because we both have had those experiences. Since the passing of my dad, my mom has become very much kind of an open book. And we're still kind of having conversations around the fray with his mom. But it is something that, like, why does it take having somebody pass before you have these conversations? Like, wouldn't you have rather I've known it from both of y'all instead of just like, here, somebody's got to know it. You got to get on the bank accounts, and you got to, all that stuff.
One tip, get both spouses on the car registrations. That alone will save you, have it be Tom or Judy. So that if something happens to Tom, Judy could still sell the car, or vice versa.
See, all of this. This is why you talk to those that are doing the same Washington hair, or because you just don't know what you don't know. And we do this for a living. We've done it. I've done it since 2017. We've been doing it. We've been licensed here since 2024. Like, we're here to help you. We're not here to just like say you need to do that. Like, we get it. And Generation X, we are groundbreakers. Like, we're older than Google. Hello.
And we were around before cell phones.
Cell phones. Have you seen that girl? I think she's a millennial. I follow her on Instagram. She has figured out a way. She Bluetooth an old school phone that we would be a rotary, or like the push dial. Remember when you went from rotary to
Yeah.
push dial and you thought, oh, I only have push button. She has, with AI's help, she has made it so that the Bluetooth on her iPhone talks to and makes her phone ring. So she talks to people on an old school phone.
That's amazing. And she could slam it.
And she can slam it.
And goodbye.
Yes.
Good day, sir.
I love that. I love that we have all of that in our history, where we get the beauty of knowing life without being attached. And now we know, okay, we're a little too attached. We got to sign out. And we know the beauty of slamming down a phone. We are here for you, whether you're watching in the middle of the United States, South Carolina, or Charleston. We would love to help you, hear from you. A call, a text, an email gets that process started. All of our information is in the description below, no matter which video you're watching this. And I'm Angel. This is Dan. And we will chat with you and see you around. We are here every Tuesday live at 5.
Or 2.
Or 2 if you're in California. Yeah.
See ya.